All right, boys and girls, moms and dads, we're on lesson 9 of module 2, and we're going to try our hand at some of these word problems. So I always recommend that you underline the important information. So tonight's homework is just number 1 and then 2A and B. My dog is very excited. Hold on. This is the culprit with the tennis ball that squeaks. So I'll move to another place away from him. Okay, back to the problem. Jeffrey bought 203 sheets of stickers. I'm going to underline that because that seems important. Each sheet has, each sheet has a dozen stickers. So each sheet has a dozen stickers. And then he gave away 907 stickers on Valentine's Day. So the question is, how many stickers does Jeffrey have remaining? So first of all, I need to find out how many stickers he had in the first place. And so I'm going to start by setting up my problem. 203 sheets of stickers. So I can write that down, 203. And I might even write sheets to remind myself. And then each sheet has a dozen stickers. And I know that a dozen is 12. So if each sheet has a dozen stickers, I'm going to multiply 203 times 12. Since for the most part you're familiar with double-digit multiplication, and this is just putting it into practice with words, I'll go ahead and do that work and be right back. Okay, so first of all, I multiplied the 2 times the 203 and got 406. Okay, now I'm going to multiply the 10 by 203, and I know that since I'm going to be in the tens, I'll put a 0 in the ones place. And then I multiply the rest by 203. And I have 2030. If I add those two partial products together, the total number of stickers I have is 2,436. So that tells me how many stickers he had to start with. But remember, he gave away 907 stickers. So I need to subtract that from my total. So I'll set up the problem. 2,436 minus the 907 he gave away. Okay, so for Valentine's Day, that's really a thoughtful thing to do. And I'm going to subtract. I can't subtract 7 from 6, so I'm going to need to turn that into 16 because I've taken one of the tens away. So instead of 3 tens, I now have 2 tens, and I regrouped one of those tens into 10 ones. 16 ones minus 7 is 9. 2 tens minus 0 is 2. I'm going to have to do the same thing with my 400s. I'm going to take one from the thousands and turn it into 10 hundreds plus the 400s is 1400s. 14 minus 9 is 5. And 1 minus nothing is 1. Hold on a second. So Jeffrey has 1,529 stickers remaining. And that's number 1. Okay, for this next problem, we're looking at football. And that's great because it's football season, and who doesn't love football? So during the 2011 season, a quarterback passed for 302 yards per game. And I think that's important, so I'm going to underline it. He played in all 16 regular season games that year. 16 regular season games. The question is, for how many total yards did the quarterback pass? So to do this, I'm going to multiply 302 times 16, and that gives me how many total yards he passed for that season. To get this answer, I multiply the 6 first by the 2, and I got 12. 2 in the ones place, and I would have carried the 1. Then I multiplied the 6 times the 0 and got 0. And I add that 1 in that I carried, and I put that right here. And then 6 times 3, of course, is 18. So that is the partial product for the first 6 times 302. Now I'm going to multiply the 10 times the 302. I'll put a 0 in the ones place. And then 1 times 2, or 1 10 times 2 is 2 tens. 1 times 0 is 0 hundreds. And then 110 times 3 hundreds is 3 thousandths. I'm going to add that together. I had to rewrite that because I was running out of space. But my final answer when I add those two partial products together is 4,832 yards. Okay. The next question is, if he matches this passing total for each of the next 13 seasons, how many yards will he pass for in his career? Okay, that's assuming his career is 13 seasons. So we need to take this original 4,832 yards from that first season and imagine that he did the exact same yardage for 13 seasons. And that means we would multiply those two together. So let's walk through this one by one, just for kicks. So 3 times 2 is 6. I'll put that in the ones column. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 8 is 24. So put the 4 down here and carry the 2. And 3 times 4 is 12, plus that 2 that I carried is 14. Now I'm going to multiply the tens place. So I will put a 0 in the ones place. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4. So I'll need to answer or add those together to get my final product. So for his career, he would have 62,816 yards. I always like to circle my answer just to make it really clear what my final answer is. Now, if you choose to go on and do number 5, A, B, and C for your extra credit, that's going to have to be on your own, but this is the homework that I'm requiring for tonight, number 1, and then number 2, A and B. So I hope that was helpful, and we'll see you tomorrow.